What was that?
Dylan, would you like $5 to make a...
What was that?
Is it close to fridge?
Oh.
Sorry. Bomb training.
Hello, welcome back to a podcast. This is episode, 0.
Yeah. This is the pilot, basically.
We're speaking too loudly, I believe, but that's okay. We can
You're
always
speaking
just
too
turn it
loudly.
down. Yeah.
It's okay.
That was much louder.
It's okay. Anyway, well, with this podcast,
Don't slap the table.
Okay, shut up.
This is our equivalent of burping.
Anyway,
Oh,
this
okay.
is.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying.
Anyway,
Everyone hated that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Not everyone.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I loved it.
I was like, oh, yeah, oh well. I'm not smelling it or not in the room with them, so
Okay,
it's just a
so-
burp.
Well,
if I hear
okay,
it,
they
then
don't.
I'll-
There's no context. We're just gonna skip past this. And
We're gonna skip past.
there's a
this?
lot of things to edit out right now. I think we should keep the slapping though. If you guys agree with the slapping, you should finish the podcast, watch it again, and give us 2 views for this podcast, and then we can continue said slapping.
That's
Thank
true.
you. It'll cost us $1 a month if there's
To
5
slap?
to make a podcast.
I think
I
there'll
don't
be
think
more than
that's
5
right.
of us, because what I was planning on with Dylan, you were there, we were talking. Ian doesn't know about this though. So we do 2 podcasts a week, where one is with 2 people and one is with 4 people. The one with 2 people is going to be a shorter podcast, so we can like spread it out, and we'll alternate people, so we can, we can have Joseph in here, we can have James in here, we can have.
But it cost
John.
Nick. It costs $5 a month to have an account.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm
perfectly
saying-
affordable.
Yeah,
These
exactly.
two
That is
guys are
affordable.
employed.
Yeah.
I have
should-
enough
we
money
should
to
make
keep
it-
that going
I
for
just
a
gave
while.
$90 in tips.
We should
You
make-
don't have to
make-
flex like that.
we
man.
should
Shut
make-
up.
You're unemployed.
We should make the guest pay $1 to be on the podcast.
We haven't introduced anyone yet.
Anyway,
Okay, we should do the
We could
voices
totally-
introduction.
yeah.
Just in case.
we should probably move on because finance.
Finance.
What are you talking-
Let's move on.
Just introduce everyone.
Yeah, let's get out of finance.
That's what I was
Okay.
introducing.
Stop saying
finance.
I was introducing the introduction. You awkward.
Introducing the
Sir.
introductions.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Grab his nipple when you're.
No, Nick.
No, he's just comforting me.
This is the
Okay.
voice
Comfort
of
me.
Daniel Andrini, co-star of the Basement podcast. We're gonna change the name because it's a terrible name.
I appreciate that you took my criticism on that.
Yeah, we're gonna change it.
Yeah, it's weird. It should be
Is
like
it-
it
and
or
anyone else
something.
gonna? Am I just the only one here at the moment?
Yeah, no. if
Basically
no one,
right now, but
Yeah.
my voice, Ian LeVay.
Don't clap.
That's basically
don't-
yeah.
If you cut that, no.
That was really loud.
Okay, hello. I'm Danny. I'm Dan. This is Dan. And me. That's my voice.
Hey, it's Ian. And it's my voice. This is pretty cool too.
And who's this guy over here? Who's this guy?
You're pointing to 2 people.
You're pointing to
Exactly. Who is this guy?
Whoa.
Who?
We
We are.
It's a cute couple name. We're Kickle.
No, it's
no, Dick.
it's Nillen.
We're Dick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dick.
I'm Dylan.
That's
and,
Dylan.
And this is Nick.
And that is
Together we
Nick.
are Dick.
And together they're Dick.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Danny, what would ours be?
Dean. Or Yanni.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Or if you cut off the back of my name and replace the first letter of my name with your first initial, it'd be Ian.
That's true.
So we are Ian.
Ingenious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
We're Ian.
like the Wow.
I also that was like a long time ago. It was
Hold on,
Nick and I.
Ian Nick.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it Ian and
We
Nick?
mixed the end of Ian's the N with my N.
What? Oh no! If you just do Ian and Nick and then take the first letter of that, and then it's Ian.
Wow, you guys were gay before it was cool.
Basically, that's just how childhoods work, don't they?
Is this audible?
It is audible. I can hear it.
But
Yeah.
It's a big.
Yes.
It's definitely.
Yes, most definitely.
Danny, you're annoying.
You should stop that.
We love you though.
That's my-
Danny,
it's
I
like
will
a,
cut off
I
your
will
foot.
put this in your
It's
mouth.
my goal.
This fake flower that I put already in my mouth.
That's really.
Did you grab that from here?
yes.
Can you put that back?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I feel like it's a real.
He puts it in his mouth.
I was about to.
Put the flour in the bottle.
Is that
Okay.
is that an A1 bottle?
A what?
A1 sauce
Oh, it looks like it, but I don't
or
know.
HP sauce if you're from the United Kingdom?
Really? Why is that?
Because Harry Potter, obviously.
Wait a minute. I know. I never read Harry Potter because I always thought it was a lame
I can
wizard.
understand that.
Yeah, when I visited Charlie in Rhode Island, basically all I did was read Harry Potter, and it took away from my
I
entire
remember
trip.
that.
Yeah.
That weird week in
Wait, where were you, Nick?
freshman year.
I went to Rhode Island to visit Charlie because he was
Rhode
in the
Island.
Naval Academy,
I
right?
thought you said Ireland, and I was like,
No.
why don't you go to
Ireland.
Rhode
But I
Island?
spent half the trip just nose in a book. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm staring into the flames of hell right now.
I'm realizing I have addictive tendencies.
That's
Yeah,
true.
That's true.
That's true. But I think we all kind
We've
of have
talked
some
about
weird
this to you
addictive.
plenty of times, buddy.
See, hey, sir. Remember our rule.
Put
No.
your phone on silent so you can stop the phones.
Yeah. No.
Danny, are you?
Oh, that's kind of cute though.
What's
That
he
is
doing?
kinda-
What's he doing?
He's just.
Anyway,
All I can see is finger moving in circular
we
motions.
should like move to a topic because we have some topics.
All right,
Oh,
Do
do
we
you
have
pull my
some,
topics?
Yeah, Monsieur Dylan.
This
Oh.
is more of a shit fest.
It's
I'll,
true.
I'll read the 4 things I've written down. 1, what are the odds?
I don't
No.
know. We're not doing that.
We're gonna do what are the odds, Nick?
Nah.
Just because you don't know how to play
I'm
what
gonna
are
read
the
the
odds.
rest of them. 2, Nick's math dream. That we will talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, can we just talk dreams in general?
I-
I've had some
The
crazy
problem is,
ones.
if you talk about dreams with Ian, he will have so much to say.
I do not dream.
I dreamed like once. I told you about it. I
Like
beat the
that-
shit out of my
Like that
undergrad.
one time he was in a sex dungeon with Bowser and Peach.
Was that an actual dream?
No, that might have been like it wasn't. I don't
That
think
was
it
a
was a
long
sex
time
dream,
ago, Ian.
Oh,
dungeon,
God,
but it was
Jesus.
a weird
How
one.
old were you when you had a
Christ.
sex dream?
7.
No.
I don't know, man.
What are the odds you're gonna say the last one?
2?
2, 1, 1.
We said 1 the first time too, and we were like, what was the last one? The philosophical ramifications of MS Paint.
All right, those are very Dylan topics. I like that. I think
Is that an
I
insult?
think to start off strong, we should start off with the philosophical MS Paint,
The problem is I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
and that's what we are here for, Dylan.
What did you like write this in between consciousness and
No,
unconsciousness?
I was actually talking to Jack, and we were talking about the podcast.
When do you talk with Jack?
He's in my history class.
Okay.
We sit across from each other.
Yeah. That's...
History.
Jack, if you're listening.
Hell yeah.
That was a
I'll let you
nod.
put there
The
what you want.
philosophical ramifications of MS
The
Paint.
problem
I
is
think once you start MS Paint, you can't stop and you have to live with what you've created.
the
and that's
problem is
hardest
MS
part.
Paint allows people to express their ideas too well.
That's
it's
too-
too perfect of a program.
It's
Yeah.
almost like Shrek.
But like, there's no
But
opacity.
Shrek is not the product of
It's
MS Paint.
it is
But
what
that's
it is
true.
the iCarly to Dan Schneider.
That well,
Ooh.
maybe
Ooh.
maybe
What's
we
it
get
about?
it a little bit
Feet?
more specific.
Yes,
Random
feet.
dancing.
Yes, Ian?
Yeah. But, well, I was thinking maybe just a better analogy, maybe because I feel like it's just got a closer bond. It's better than iCarly and Dan Schneider.
No, Dan Schneider really loved iCarly a lot.
Okay, maybe that is true.
How does that apply
but
to
more,
this?
it's like Dan Schneider
I
and
don't-
his feet in general.
Is it a problem I don't know who Dan
How
Schneider
does
is?
feet apply to this?
He's the Nickelodeon guy. He's creative Nickelodeon director.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no,
That's
never mind.
right.
I was thinking of someone else.
No, Quentin Tarantino
Yeah, that's
and Dan
the-
Schneider both have feet.
Oh, okay.
How is that related to MS Paint?
Because iCarly is Dan Schneider's creation that has come from the depths of hell.
Yeah, that's true.
All
But
right.
it's hilarious.
MS Paint is things that we can express our creations on and our minds on.
Yeah, but it's still
In a
hilarious,
bad
and
way?
that's the funny part about it. It's good, but it's horribly bad at the
It
same
develops fanaticism.
What the?
That's where Nazis have come from.
MS Paint?
time. Wait a
Are we
minute.
still talking about the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
MS Paint.
Yeah.
So the problem with the MS Paint is it's great, right? You start off and there's so much you can do.
iCarly came from Nazism.
Damn it, Hitler.
What the hell? Go ahead, Nick.
Anyway, continue.
all right.
Continue.
So you can start from nothing and go into MS Paint and be like, wow, I'm a pretty good artist. And that's like, any girl with photography.
No, the problem is you make a big
You're
circle,
right.
you fill it in with like
Photography
a reddy peachy color, then you put some fucking eyes on it, and you have a smiley face.
Danny,
that too.
I
Okay.
feel like you've done that too many times to know
You
how to
guys
do
remember
that.
when I sent you a picture of Herman Goring
Yeah.
I don't know.
that I made in MS Paint? I
Yeah,
can pull up the
yeah.
picture.
You're missing so much. Nick.
He's a
I'm
Nazi.
sorry.
He is a Nazi.
He's a funny Nazi
This
because
is
he
not.
looks like a
this
man
is,
child.
We're not Nazis.
We are not. I do not condemn that.
You do condemn that.
I do condemn
Do
that.
not-
I don't
do
condemn
not
that.
condone.
Dylan's a Nazi?
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, Dylan is a Nazi.
Boomer.
I've seen him.
Boomer is a Nazi.
My
You
dad's
shouldn't
a
say that
boomer.
on the podcast.
You mentioned
This
the
is
man.
Herman
named
Goring.
Jack.
Herman Herman Goring was a World War I pilot and also a general in World War II.
And a Nazi.
Yeah,
and I
Nazi.
brought his
In Germany.
his,
Germany.
him. One day I had forgotten my flash drive for a class,
Of course you're gonna be a fucking Nazi.
so
in
naturally I
Germany.
created this monstrosity.
Are we not allowed to swear?
Well, you could be a communist.
Certain
in
things you can't
Germany.
say.
Why? Like,
We established you can't say the
Fuck.
R word. Okay, you can say that one.
Yeah. You could say, like...
The N word's too far.
Shit.
all right,
Okay, Danny.
keep going, Danny.
Keep going.
Shittle tiddles.
That one's kind of cute.
Has anyone said bitch yet?
Cum
Nah.
dumpster.
Cumster.
I have a video of a Latino man saying the word cum dumpster. If you continue your conversation, I'll
Is
be
it
like,
like cum dumpster?
no, he's like cum
Cum
dumpster.
dumpster.
He has an American accent. He's just
Oh.
Latino.
Some
Oh,
of your...
Why is that relevant then?
I like how some of my...
Are
my
you defining
little
him by
cursed
race? Why does
images-
it just say Weezer? What is wrong with you?
I can see the reflection of your front of your glasses, and it's
Danny
like kind
has
of
a-
distorted, but I can still see it.
Danny has an image that just says Weezer.
He has very disturbing images. Some of them are mine,
Oh, that's
actually.
gross.
Oh,
The problem is nobody has any idea what we're laughing at.
Camera rolls are like.
No, can we go back to this? What was that?
Cum dumpster.
Oh, that's gonna be loud. That was right next to the mic, Danny.
I don't know how to remove video. It's
Oh.
it's a phone call.
Tyler.
Who's
Uh
Tyler?
oh. I think Tyler wants me to take a shift.
Oh, that might be it.
I'm gonna answer him.
You can't.
Hey, Tyler.
The problem is the philosophical ramifications of this.
Hey.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a podcast with some guys right now.
Fucking word.
Well,
Damn, man. You're busy, aren't you?
Are you wanting someone to take a busing shift?
Yeah, it's just, tonight, because I am, like, almost done with my semester, and I just wanted to finish most of my stuff, because I am almost done with a couple classes.
Yeah.
And it is at 5:30, but I'm pretty sure you're doing a podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. We kind of just started it.
You're all good.
All right. Tyler, you're fine if we use this, or would you like me to cut it?
I don't really care.
All right.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
thank you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Bye. I'm sorry. I hope you find someone.
My mom every morning.
Don't we speak in unison too often.
Anyway.
I was like,
Surprisingly good.
yeah.
Yeah,
we could start something.
We were
like
on
that, you know?
A game.
probably, well, I've seen kids do that with, like, I know, what was it? The Arizona tea
what-
cup.
What?
Flicking the
they
bottle
flick it.
cap. I
Oh.
flicked the bottle cap for everyone who was.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
this,
I
like
lost.
what liter.
Danny, we
Thing
talked
that's-
about this.
Yeah, stop talking
Do I need to grab your
Snapchat
phone?
Yeah, stop
You're
talking
like
to
my
girls.
parents.
Stop.
Stop. This is it. This is it. This is it. You're being detained.
I'll stop doing it if you just let me put my
John
phone.
Lennon just
not in
drank so many women. It's impossible.
Man, he's a
I'm
chick.
gonna I'm gonna get a haircut.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't wait to see that.
I really
You're
like
gonna
the
look
John
so
Lennon
different
thing.
because the glasses.
he might look like.
Wait a second. Where's my phone?
Yeah,
I want to. Never mind. I was gonna
It's
take
right
a
there.
picture of you.
behind the. That
Can
thing.
we, if there's
Look.
any sort of audio picture, can we take a picture? Can we just put? Is there a way we can put up a picture of what is being shown?
I'm gonna merge
That
this
was-
with your face after your haircut.
You repeated that sentence like 3 times
Yeah.
before you actually completed it.
Okay, big issue. Where's this going? Okay, there's a lot of tangents. There's
That's
a lot of
true.
tangents.
Yeah.
But where are we gonna? Where is this going up? Like where are we putting this up?
We could
YouTube.
try Spotify.
You do Spotify, but that
That's
costs money.
ambitious.
We could do YouTube for free,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what
YouTube
I was
works.
thinking. Easy peasy, just make our account.
and we do need to make some sort of like art so people can look and enjoy the picture.
I can do
MS
that.
Paint.
I'll make it in MS Paint.
Yeah, MS Paint, obviously.
First,
First,
we'll tell you I have a gift for that.
yeah, first
can you make
episode
it
can
like
be
can
MS
you
Paint.
can you make it super mega style? There's 4 boys sitting around a table, and there's just a
Yeah.
background,
It's just MS Paint.
and then we
We
can
could
have,
like just stand. We should get like a green screen.
Green screen.
What do you? Oh, to record?
No, just like behind us, so we can take crappy things and just shove MS Paint behind
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Like boys at the beach, and then there's just a horrible green screen.
Can we put ourselves in front of the trial of Nuremberg?
yeah.
Where's my phone? I have my phone back. I won't go on it. I
No,
promise. I
Danny.
just-
No.
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 I've
No.
lost my phone once in the
Yeah,
past 2
and we
weeks.
saw you sinning, so you're not allowed to have it.
Yeah, you sinned.
You've lost your privileges.
You've
Danny.
made several war crimes already.
This is why you're at the Nuremberg trials.
Loser.
You're here too, dingus.
Ooh, you guys-
Shut up.
You guys
I'm
wanna-
gonna die with dignity at least.
Uh-huh.
My crimes aren't as
With the
big.
bottle in your hand.
Yeah, because bottles are interesting to hold. 'Cause
You're
it's
like,
like,
you're like fondling that bottle, and you haven't for the last 5 minutes. And you're
Ian
just like,
is holding
Can
a
I fondle
bottle.
that bottle for a little bit?
hold on, gotta get all my greasiness hand on it.
okay.
My
You
turn.
guys want to hear about my math dream?
Yeah, I
Yes,
do.
math
I've been waiting
dream
for
time.
Is this Monday?
This was Monday.
All right, 2 days ago. So for context, I
Today's
did
Wednesday.
not. For context, today is Wednesday. Danny. Okay, so I had gotten like no sleep last night.
That is every night.
The night before Monday, whatever that was.
Sunday.
Classic Nick. Anyway.
Can you stop like doing
Dude.
that?
Okay.
That's gonna come out way louder than
time,
the speech.
time to remove the bottle.
Yeah.
This is why
You should,
I was
you should
holding
throw it
Okay,
It's gotta,
at Danny's head.
I'm gonna get this out.
Painful for that.
Okay.
That is glass.
yes.
Maybe I'm
Put it
not.
up your armpit.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Continue.
math starts out, you know, solid lecture. What were we learning about? We were taking zeros for.
It was something not
Polynomials.
relevant to what we were doing. Like something we already knew how to do.
It's probably review because I seen some of them.
It wasn't review.
Alright.
It was supposed to be a new
Is it?
concept.
Supposed to be.
But it like wasn't new.
I don't know. I was asleep.
We
during
should
the
talk.
thing.
We should talk
Okay.
as much
Anyways.
about Matt Dream and as little about math as possible.
Okay.
Anyway, keep going.
Okay.
Going.
That's fair. So we got a little bit of work time, and of course it starts. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this done. It's work. It's due later. But I could not keep consciousness
Cannot go
going.
That is Nick's mentality constantly. Go
It
ahead.
sucks, but it happens. So the eye shake and the open close, head bobbing.
They call that a seizure, Nick.
Well, no, it's like when you're absolutely. I know what he's talking about because I've gotten no sleep at all.
My
too.
brain is constantly like when you're flicking a light switch on and off
Yeah.
constantly.
And you just kind of like bob your head. You're like trying to stay awake.
This is a seizure.
He's just getting more.
You know, maybe that's what happened.
No, you're.
Maybe that's why.
No, I know what
first
you're.
half of that dream.
I know what you're trying to do. Is when you're like falling asleep in class, but you're trying to stay awake, so your like body's kind of just like in and out,
Yeah.
and you're like in and out of the dream world, sort of like lucid dreaming. If you guys know what lucid dreaming
I
is,
am-
it's
I
kind
I
am
of
familiar.
still see your shadows in my room. Sorry.
Okay.
I
So
wanted to do that too.
Anyway, continue then.
this dream goes on, and eventually the end of the dream. The only part I remember. I'm falling off of a cliff. You know, the classic nightmare.
Yeah.
And right before I hit the ground, I wake up, except I'm not realizing I'm in a classroom, and I start like spazzing around. Apparently, you didn't notice this. You were close to me, so I'm hoping that no one else did. But my table was moved forward, and there's definitely a lot of noise made. It's like when you do something like very embarrassing in class, and there's studies have done. It's like, you know, you do something stupid, and then a survey is done amongst each person. It's like, did you notice this? And it's usually like 10 to 20% of people that actually did. So it's like, you know, stupid things happen.
What are you
but
talking about?
You
About
juddered awake. You just kind of like
It was like
you just knocked the table so hard.
that's exactly what happened.
like
Okay.
basically,
And I feel bad for
Problem is
no.
we're recording.
basically when you're like startled almost, and you're like, "Ugh."
That I can understand.
Yeah, it's like when you're in the shower and then someone opens the curtain and.
How often does that happen?
Oh.
Nick, do we need to talk about problems of incest?
No, this has never happened. I'm just saying.
Are you crying?
No.
Your eyes are kind of a
His eyes
little
are
watery.
I mean, when I laugh, I can get tears, but that's about the only way.
Oh, okay. I was thought you were just getting emotional about your incest.
Can't
No,
feel anything.
You're just like, ah.
And I don't know if I have the ability to cry still.
Danny's been quiet until right then.
Yeah, because I grabbed his thigh just awkwardly. He's like laying down. So.
I'm pretending to be a podcast listener for quality control.
Okay. Anyway, so something embarrassing happened in class. Did anyone notice?
That's the point. I don't think really any people did.
I had no idea anything had happened until after school when Nick was driving me home.
I always notice Nick being silly Billy in class though with the lack of sleep.
That is
Yeah.
that is a pretty consistent theme in the story.
Well,
of Nick.
lack of sleep can do a lot to people.
A lot.
A
The
lot.
problem is that's like his biggest character trait is that he doesn't sleep.
He's just
gotta
like,
get that done.
guys, you know what my flaw is? I can't sleep.
That is also an Ian
That is,
character
yeah,
trait.
yeah. Sleep is.
And
Sleep
so
is
You
am I,
hard.
want to
my
just
guy.
like sleep together?
No, I fear sleep.
Are you turning down like that?
You know how many dreams I've had and I've woken up in a sweat.
Oh,
I've had one about
Now
demons,
we're going
and I
down
was
the
really
tangent.
scared.
now it's the
You
rabbit
have-
hole.
I don't know about
Melatonin
waking up
and
in
sleep.
sweat.
But like, this is the thing is like it was this like the worst nightmare I've ever had, and it doesn't even sound bad. It was just like how I went to a mansion. Like the dream was like I went to a mansion. Stop playing on your Apple Watch.
Sorry. Joseph texts me, "Are you doing the podcast right now?" And the Apple Watch has a preset of responses you can do. I'm just scrolling down and I see no idea. So of course that's what I have to click.
Nice. Anyway, but like one of the nightmares that like the worst one I had was like I went to a mansion with my brother and dad, and we were like hunting Ghostbusters style.
Okay.
But when we go there, they're like demons. But the thing is, these demons are like
You told me this one. You
yeah,
told me
and
this
it's
one.
but it continues. I don't think I told you the rest of it.
Okay.
And it's like
Oh,
these
that's-
weird, lengthy, dark creatures that are like.
This is the Demogorgon from Stranger Things.
But no, they're like completely dark, like the darkest black ever,
Are they like liquidy but also kind of gaseous?
sort of. But like if they were like
my fucking farts.
yeah. But
Are
like the
your
thing
farts black?
is, you get
Of course.
they're blacker than black. No, it was like they were like you know like that one color or the shade of black that's like that if it's on an object like a circle you can't even tell
Yeah.
like, the thing. It was basically like that. So it's really weird. And if they would hide in shadows and they had like glowing eyes and a smile, it was really weird. But like it doesn't sound
know
terrifying. But I guess I was just like
Yeah.
horrifying.
I mean, while you're dreaming, your senses aren't like intact completely. You know, half the times if you're like dreaming and you're realizing that you're dreaming, you look down and realize that you don't have 5 fingers on each hand.
yeah,
I've heard this.
I've
It's true.
I've looked.
I've had this conversation before. Go
anyway,
ahead.
but
You only have 4 fingers on your hand because your thumb
Because-
is an appendage.
Danny, are you okay?
Did he just instantly like?
He went into
Where's
sad
that
mode.
He
Anyway,
doesn't have his phone. He doesn't have the thought feel.
yeah, that's true.
I can think freely now.
You don't understand,
Shut
Danny.
up about free
You're gonna have that weird
Yeah.
moment. Remember that one moment in
I'm
the
not.
Mexican
I'm not.
restaurant?
I'm not as
Xbox
addicted
is
to my
really
phone
good
as some
phone.
other kids you've seen.
Yeah,
You've seen those kids
Yeah.
constantly.
Whoa.
but the thing was is like the demons would go up to you and they would like turn you into one of the demons, so you couldn't do
This
anything
is-
about it.
It's like it's like
That
it's
reminds
like,
me of a dream, a recurring
it's
nightmare
like
I've had when I
blob
was
tag.
blobbed. Oh yeah.
Take basically.
I had this recurring nightmare when I was like very young. I think like 6 to 8, something like that, right?
Uh-huh.
Eventually, I became like, hey, this is no longer a nightmare. This is my like world when I go to sleep. And
What about
basically,
6
these
to
guys,
Sorry.
these guys were peanut butter monsters, right? That's what I called them. Mind this, I was 6 to 8, something like that, right?
Peanut butter monster.
Peanut butter monsters. Basically, their goal was to capture you and basically eat you and make you a peanut butter monster. So every single peanut butter monster you realize was a human before.
Yeah.
Kind of like zombies, but they
Yeah.
had no.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, it was peanut butter.
It was peanut butter. I love peanut butter.
Like
right?
Mr. What was it? The nut guy.
The nut guy.
You know the guy with the top hat.
The Planter's
Mr. Peanut?
Mr. Peanut. Like Mr. Peanut. But yeah, but the thing is, the nightmare kept continuing, and it like then like my family got out of there, or it was like my brother, my dad, and me, because we were the only ones in that dream, other than some random people getting turned into demons. Because then we're like, oh shoot.
Because plot can exist. Go
Yeah. Anyway, it like then transitioned to people, and it was like how their life went on, and it was just normal. But in the background, you'd always see one of those little demons, just like they weren't little, but it was far away, and you could just see that gleaming smile in the dark, and you're like, this is scary. And then one guy is like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. Then he goes to my room, and that's when I realize, shoot, I'm him. Because then he goes to sleep, and then the demon comes and like kills me, and I've never been
So you
like
saw yourself in the third person.
basically because I was like this has to mean something because he went to my bedroom slept in my bed, and then Demon came out of the closet
At
and
no
got
point
him.
You saw the figure and said, "Oh, that's Ian."
Well, yeah,
Okay.
Ian
because I was
talks-
watching it like a film almost.
Yeah,
Ian talks
okay.
like the way my aunt does, and my aunt has cerebral palsy.
Yeah, I basically have autism,
Oh.
That's nothing.
Like
Okay, never mind.
and
She has muscular dystrophy.
I probably have something like that. I don't know. I would just guess that because lack of oxygen for something, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway,
collapse.
exactly.
Good story.
That's a fun story. We can maybe talk about that in the next episode.
Ooh,
maybe.
gotta watch it.
Maybe.
Gotta
You gotta
watch the one
watch.
collapse
Gotta
episode.
watch. That was a scary moment. Second grade.
And I think that was my favorite year in elementary school.
When
It
Ian's
was-
lung collapsed?
That's why it was my favorite.
it was terrifying. But anyway,
There's hatred here.
but the dream just but the dream like continued, and the guy was gonna wake up the other guy, and then he opens the door, and in my bed is like his clothes, and he's like, where did he go? And then the closet just peeks open, and you can see another demon's face, and you're like,
What do these demons'
Holy
faces
shit.
look like?
you can only see the eyes
We talked about this.
and the
They're
smile,
black.
But,
the
like,
glowing.
Any detail?
There's no
Gashes.
detail. There's
Like,
no gashes.
Were they like? Did you
At what
see
point did I
individual
think
teeth?
gashes?
Were they like kind of gummy, maybe kind of gross teeth, or were they like?
No, it's just
Gamey.
like glowing, like just a smiley
Gamey?
face almost.
Gamey.
Was it a big smile or just a normal?
You know,
smile?
like raw
Probably
meat.
like a normal, or
What?
not. I don't know. It was hard
I
to
was
tell
scared
because
about it.
a lot of times they would be like out of focus or something.
That could be a little freaky.
It was really freaky because then I woke up in my bed and I was like, I'm in the dark and I'm terrified, and I just kept freaking out like an anxiety attack. But yeah, what are you guys looking at?
Well, my pupils are like regulated, and I feel normal right now.
Yeah.
You just cut off a conversation.
Sorry.
You're
I'm
just so
sorry.
you're just so goddamn horny.
Anyway, the
You need my phone back because my parents will be very angry at me. I'll just leave it here and won't touch it.
We can't
Okay.
trust him.
So they're fine.
Can I hold it?
you hold it.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Nick.
No.
Put it
Nick,
here.
Nick can
I'll
read
tell
it.
you if you get a text message.
No, you should put it there. And
He'll tell you if you get a
Danny,
text
you
message.
It's
sound
out of
addiction.
reach.
they're my
and
possessions, Nicholas.
You're
They're my-
grabbing headphones.
They're my possessions.
Danny,
Because
you can't
it's
pull that
something
out.
to
don't
hold.
pull that out.
They're my
That's
possessions.
attached to the computer.
Anyway,
Danny,
I don't
you
know.
don't need.
you don't need technology.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd like to.
Danny just pulled
just
a
have it.
Joy-Con
I don't feel
from
like
a
it's fair
Switch
to just
off the table.
have.
A trade, basically, you're saying.
He's holding it hostage.
I'm just gonna.
It's
keep,
like when-
I'm gonna walk
until he
home with
gets
this.
his-
It's like when you tell your English teacher, "Hey, I don't have a pencil today." It's like, "Give me your shoe."
Did you have a teacher that did that?
I know what
Yeah,
he's talking
I
about
hate
because
those
I
people.
swear I've seen teachers like that.
Didn't Welsh do that?
I had to give my shoe to
Okay.
Mrs. Welsh several times.
Mm-hmm.
I never did that. I feared her.
Dude, I would just take 2 pencils, then I could just go barefoot. It's true. That's what I would have done. So one time I remember it was like we were playing soccer middle school. It was just because we were playing like soccer for gym, and then I got my shoes all dirty, and I couldn't wear
So
them
you
inside.
traded them in for pencils?
No, no. I went barefoot. They were like,
And they didn't give you any pencils or anything?
no,
That's-
no.
I'm
I was
sorry.
barefoot. Everyone kind of looked at me. Don't you have more topics?
I do.
I also have some topics
We
too.
we didn't get very far with Famous Paint when I'm kind
No,
of glad
we
about
didn't.
that.
When we were talking about how Shrek and
Because Danny knows
podcasts.
far too much about geography. And if you ask him, like, why the Armenians were all slaughtered, he'll just go on for like a 20-minute tangent.
That's true.
Only a 10-minute tangent.
I'm sorry.
No, 15.
That's a good.
I couldn't do
That's good.
15. I don't think I could do 15.
You know the
Nah,
Armenians
you-
pretty well.
Anyway,
I don't actually.
he does nerd push with glasses. I saw that. I saw that.
I don't actually know
He's
what
gotten
I
rainbow
mean.
blue.
Yeah, he did.
Cowboy style. Like,
You got it with your ring finger, not your middle.
I don't know. I don't want to do it with my ring finger.
That's kind of gay.
that is kind of
That's
gay.
the point.
I don't
Can we
know.
say that?
Probably not. It's kind of.
I don't know.
I
They-
probably
got-
shouldn't use that as an insult.
Yeah, we should
We've
probably
got
cut that
nothing
out.
I
against
actually
gay
yelled
people.
at several people today for using that as an insult, so now I'm just being hypocritical.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love being hypocritical. Because it's like catches you in the moment.
Uh,
And then you like
Nick-
hate other people for
Nick
being
Just
Actually,
play
hypocritical.
devil's advocate. It
About
always works.
half an
Oh,
hour
okay.
ago, Nick asked me if I'd vote for him for being the president, and that became a very big issue. Cause you're my friend.
I don't know if you guys heard me yelling from the bathroom while I was pooping, but I said, first of all, you're not born in America. Second of all, Nick is not 35.
I can still run for president though, cause I'm born to an American.
I said in
father.
20 years. I'd be 35 in 20 years.
In 20 years.
But here's the situation.
Put the bottle down.
Okay, fine. But it's like, why would you want to become president, though? That's
Just to prove a point, just to get Danny to vote for him.
To get power.
Yeah, but like,
Honestly, I
This
kind
is
of
why
want
we
to.
can't have
I kind
Danny
of
for
want to turn
president.
America into like the entire like hemisphere.
That is like nationalism, dude.
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Guys, can we not talk about politics?
Yeah, you guys are so rude. Sorry.
I think there should
That's
be
just like.
the more countries, the better, because then you won't have like people slaughtering people in their country, like Armenia.
But
Yeah.
how did you bring this back to Armenia?
Yeah, how did you do
Because
that?
Armenia under occupation
No,
of the Turks.
no, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Just
Stop him.
Okay,
Danny,
so
crazy.
American jazz here, guys. That's the thing is, I want to know
Are
about.
we gonna talk about jazz?
I
Please
want
don't
to
talk about
not
jazz.
even just jazz. I want to talk about music in general.
I'm just gonna.
I will
smudge
talk
up
about
my glasses.
music.
All right.
They've got just some, like they've
All
already
I
got
can
some
talk
smudges
about
on. I'm
music
just
is
gonna
jazz.
put my nose on. I'm getting all,
Okay.
all greasy. I can't see anything.
Why did you feel we
Excellent.
needed Mary?
Are we gonna talk about music though? Like, what is good music, and what is not? What counts?
You
want to
know what I think?
What's like our opinions on
Rap
it? Just an
can,
opinion.
rap can be good music if it's not just
I
I
agree.
fucked a bitch in a car and then
That's like-
I mean,
Her.
sure.
I have money and I have herpes.
I'm a freaking pimp, pimpity dimp.
If you listen to Weezer, do not talk to me.
Okay.
you listen to anything from
Except Say It Ain't So. I like
the
that.
2000s. Anything from the
Really?
2000s.
There's some good things about the 2000s. I really like, what's it called? Lifted, or The Story Is in the Earth, Keep Your Ears to the Ground by Bright Eyes.
No one knows any of these songs.
I know. It's not a song, it's an album from like 2003.
No one knows any of these albums.
Okay, it's a
Dude.
very lovely album, and I love it.
Check it out. What was it called again?
I don't remember.
Well, better,
It's a very
play it
lengthy
back.
title. I probably got it wrong.
I think what constitutes good music is like when you're growing up, you know, you're listening to stuff.
Oh, sorry. Go on. I got another album after this.
Okay, so you know you're growing up, you're listening to stuff. This is kind of what you're used to, and as you're like maturing and gaining your own not gaining your own, but like you start to think on your own, you know, away from whatever raised you or like
Hormones.
yeah, there you go.
Sure.
You know, you start developing your own taste, but the old ones are always going to be there unless they were like, let's say I was listening to rap every time my dad beat me. This is just like, I'm just saying this,
Exactly.
right? I'm going to hate rap when I'm older.
Your dad said bust out the belt, you whip out the M&M.
Anyways,
I think that's why a lot of people like music that I really, 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 really don't like. Because
Yeah.
it's associated
Black
with so
rap,
much good
it's
memories.
for blacks.
Not rap. I meant like AC/DC or
And-
something like that.
Oh yeah.
half
I-
the time people can't relate to each other with music, but when they can, it's beautiful.
I do
Yeah.
really strongly believe that all music is a
Cancer.
no a taste that is acquired taste.
Except for
It's-
sound, anything that was on the sound card is not.
Because like some stuff could be.
Except for lo-fi beats to relax and study to.
Like,
I'll be honest, I never listened to that.
Me neither, but I just believe in it.
You just kind of like
You
going
believe-
off of memes. Okay.
Yeah.
I had never listened to jazz before I started playing it, and then it's like,
I do like playing jazz,
wow.
Oh,
jazz
yeah.
is like,
but I can't listen
Oh.
to it for too long.
I'm
or I just get-
atrocious.
That's the
Yes.
thing is, I can't listen to like a genre of music or else I get bored. Like, say if I listen to David Bowie too much, then it's like
I can listen to Bowie all day.
I
I'm
can't
sorry.
do it, man.
All right, mom.
It's good.
You're my mom.
Your
But
mom
then-
likes the Pixies. Damn it, I like the Pixies. No.
My mom loves David Bowie more.
What?
She doesn't just like the Pixies.
I love Bowie so much.
She loves Bowie more.
By the way, the name of the album was "The Story Is in the Soil. Keep Your Ear to the Ground" by Bright Eyes.
She saw when he was alive.
It makes me angry
But why?
because that was like a bucket list thing. And
I
then the
mean, you
dude
could
died.
always just like, was he cremated?
Yes.
Dang.
Well, you can always just kill
How you know
yourself
that?
right now. Let's do it right now. Do you believe in the afterlife?
No.
No.
I
Well,
don't.
you're going
That's
to
the problem.
hell.
Damn.
Hey, okay, get over here. Let me snap
No,
your neck.
That's okay.
Two of us
I
are
got the
Protestant.
bottle.
two
I know
of us
you
are
do.
atheists.
What,
Dude.
Danny?
Two of us are Protestant. Two of us are atheists.
Atheist?
Religion is an interesting subject.
Oh, maybe you're agnostic.
I feel very
Ah.
strongly about that.
I'm French.
How do you feel about religion? I want to hear that.
It's-
What is your opinion?
Now it is 100% bias. 100%. So ultimately, you can't trust anything I
Are
say.
you breaking Cromwell's rule, Dylan?
What is that?
I don't remember what that is, but I really hate it. And I don't want you to
This
tell
is-
me because then I'll hate it again.
This is too intellectual for Ian and I, because Ian currently has his finger in a brown bottle.
Well, I'm listening, but I gotta fondle something, you know?
Yeah, I get
It's
the
true.
urge to
It's
fondle
a
Keep
something.
those
baby
pants on. Ian.
thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now because I have the bottle in my hand.
Good.
Can I see bottle for? But you can
What was
follow
I
my
saying?
phone.
Hey, there's
Why
another
did you have
bottle
my
right
phone?
there. Grab that.
I don't know
Okay,
why.
it's
See, I fondle things.
How'd that phone get over there?
I just fondle things.
I like fondling glass, but this glass bottle's fun.
That's what I've been doing. I've just been kind of fondling things.
The second that bottle left your hand, you grabbed the empty Sprite bottle and
I-
started fondling that and just putting it in your mouth and teeth and shit.
Let's
It is
talk
in
about
its mouth.
religion.
Yeah,
Okay.
We'll talk about money, and then we'll go back to politics.
I very strongly do not believe the monotheistic train of thought.
Uh-huh.
Oh wow, mono.
But why is that, Dylan? I want to hear more in depth on it.
Because I do find omnipotence to be a paradox.
What does that mean?
You ever heard like the problem of evil or like?
I'm gonna create
Oh,
a
yeah,
huge
yeah.
rock
If
that no one can lift. Oh wait, can I
Yeah,
lift it?
that's
the thing,
Yeah.
the thing is,
Another
if
basis.
God is what is it
Yeah,
called? What is it when
being-
you're being super nice, a nice guy?
oh,
Omni-
benevolent.
When you're benevolent, why would create bad, evil things?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
okay,
like
the
cancer,
point
that shouldn't
here-
exist.
Is the God was so benevolent that he gave us free will?
The problem is that out of free will, regardless, there are problems that are not mankind's creation,
And
like cancer or
some,
natural
some,
disaster.
Some people believe that it's because the God wants a human species to evolve. You know, or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
like there's, like the thing is there's free will and there's determinism.
Determinism.
Shut up
Well,
about free
yeah.
will. We're not talking about free will.
I
Shut up
don't.
about
I'm
free
trying to help. I'm trying to tell you about
Rock
benevolence, right?
will.
So if we had determinant,
You're not fondling my phone, sir.
so God realizes that by taking away free will, he's not doing what's in our best interest, because that's like, kind of what life is, choices. And he wants his children to be able to not be him. He wants,
I'm not saying I don't not believe in free will or determinism. Ultimately, I do not care. It does not matter, and you should not waste your time thinking about it.
That's fair.
But I think in relevance to the whole Christianity, not exclusively Christianity, the monotheism thing, I don't think it applies very well. You know what you look like without your glasses?
Really?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Looks like a different person now.
We're back.
Oh.
Yay.
Yay.
That's great.
It's almost like we never left.
We didn't really leave.
No, we didn't.
We didn't.
We all
Anyway,
sat here.
we were talking about
My
religion.
chair is very warm.
I want
Yeah, my chair's cold now.
I
Oh,
wanna
it's
hear
not
what
even
you
a
guys
chair. It's
think.
like a.
I don't want to hear what Nick thinks because I hear it all the time. I want to hear what you two think.
No,
I'm not saying your opinion isn't valid, but I hear it constantly. So
I'm just gonna
So
do you want me to take up, or Nick? Do you want me to talk for you?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so what were you on? I wanted to hear what you were talking about, or whatever.
What I was?
Yeah, what was the last thought you were having?
Oh, about he is benevolent because he gave us free will.
yeah.
So God is benevolent. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying. Then why do things that are not dictated by free will and are bad exist?
Well, what's your definition of bad, Dylan?
That's the
Cancer.
thing.
There's
Something that is
a natural
that is
disaster.
so bad and it has no
Disease.
no
So you're
counterpart
saying, like,
to make it
Tornadoes and stuff?
I'm saying if I
Yes.
if I punch you and beat you in a fight, next time you will be prepared for a fight. That is good. That is good bad, because then it will
That's your free
impact
will.
you to be good. Yes,
That
I
has
don't
nothing
care.
to do with
I don't
God.
care. I'm trying to explain this.
All right, sorry, continue.
So some people would argue that disease would make mankind stronger, but things like a child having cancer would not be good in any way, shape, or form because a child dies and that is it.
Well, what's the difference between a child having cancer and an adult having cancer?
The child. The
Okay,
adults
I
can
think a
survive
child
it.
is sadder
child
and it
cannot.
is
And
probably
it's-
not
it's-
dictated by their own
It
actions.
doesn't. It doesn't benefit the human race whatsoever. So why
It-
does it exist?
It
then, you know?
depends
So-
on innocence. Like on.
Are you
like,
saying
the
if
child-
this child is a complete asshole, then they deserve to have cancer?
Well, no. But that's why you were like, oh, that's why it's much more sadder with a child than a
Much
the
more
adult.
So you're
sadder.
telling me if
I
a
don't know.
kid who's like beating up all the fat kids and all the ugly kids at school suddenly gets cancer and dies a couple months later, is that good, bad?
No.
we're saying why would a kid that has been born as very young couldn't have done good or bad get
Well,
cancer and die?
Ultimately,
That
that child
benefits-
could have been a good person, regardless.
that benefit,
because it's
though?
too
But-
early to tell.
Well, an adult can still change.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's true.
How does that? How does that
I'm
benefit
saying an innocent
anybody?
person, not even innocent, just a person dying with no reason whatsoever through something that is a disease that can't really be prevented at the moment
Why does that
doesn't
exist?
benefit mankind.
Well, that's kind of what gives something for mankind to progress forward. We imagine if we had nothing bad, like we don't have cancer. What are we gonna do? You know,
there's so much you can do.
there is a lot of stuff we can do, but like the reason we create music is because
Back to music. Ooh, go on,
Ooh.
go on.
all right, the reason we create music is because
Pain.
it's sure. Why do you think there's so many songs about like love and that kind of stuff? Because that's a huge
Because it entices mankind.
yeah. And then we've got things like you think of the highest paying jobs are like doctors and
Lawyers.
scientists that make it big and lawyers.
Ophthalmologists.
Yes,
Shut up,
Dylan.
Dylan.
Anyway, but continue, Nick.
All right.
Anyway, but continue.
Sorry, I was gonna say something, but I wanted to also hear more about this.
This gives people a drive for helping or like progressing, because let's say we didn't have diseases, we didn't have natural disasters, we wouldn't have architects that are specifically like, ooh, we should like figure out a way to make tornadoes not affect our infrastructure. Oh, I love helping people and I can't do it anymore because there's no diseases. Or
Right,
a
you're right.
scientist.
You're right, because if there was nothing to progress us, we'd still be people completely naked chilling out in a field in Africa. You know
The
what I'm
reason
saying?
we have clothes is because
No.
there's cold.
Ideally, in a perfect world, we wouldn't have ever been at that state ever. The world would be perfect. There'd be no issues. We wouldn't get bored.
So-
we wouldn't have the need to
We wouldn't
progress.
have existence.
I like you with Danny's glasses. That's kind of
Yeah, no, that's why I was like,
Everyone looks good in my glasses.
It's
yeah,
on
that's
your-
why
on
I
your
told.
glasses.
I've made them as smudgy as possible. By
I don't
the way.
think Edward actually looks good in them. I'm
That's
sorry.
because he's
Never mind.
sorry, Edward.
His child.
Oh, never mind.
Just
Take it
kidding.
back.
Edward, we love
Well-
Edward.
You know, Nick, you're a square glasses guy, okay?
You wear
Yeah.
square
Yeah,
glasses, guy.
That's
I
also because you have a square kind of like hair.
no,
hair.
no, he already has something round. If it's already round, then why so?
What is round?
I'm extremely round. Everything.
What defines round? Okay, wait. Let's
I
go
don't
back.
know.
So let's say you have a world with it was always perfect, right? There's nothing bad.
Then we wouldn't have existed. Cause
How
are
would we know
bad.
the difference between good and bad? We could say,
We would not have to.
wait, we have. Okay, so two things are good, right? I just ate a thing of grapes, and I ate a thing of grapes glazed in honey. Let's just say that's what I like. It was the first thing that came to my mind, right? We could.
Okay, Nick.
We have grapes, honey glazed. Man, I love that. And then one day we get just normal grapes. That's horrible because that's
evil.
comparative to what we know.
Okay, I'm saying in an ideal world, if the
So we always
brain
get honey
structure.
grapes.
No, I'm saying you should not be disappointed by that.
Why would
And
humans?
ideally, you'd be conditioned to be okay with that.
Why would humans need to develop if the God had created us, and why would we need to become from something like when Genesis happened, right? We were like basically cave people.
Mhm.
Why do we need to progress like we are through ages and through eras and stuff like that? You know.
I mean, that's just kind of what defines a human, you know?
I think
That
that
is-
supports evolution. Anyone?
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah.
it does.
I believe in evolution.
Me too.
Okay.
Most
It's-
Christians do believe in evolution.
It's kind of dumb to not think about.
Yeah,
it.
why would
Oh,
you not?
okay.
There's
By
so
the
much
way,
evidence.
By the way, Dylan and I are the ones who are scrutinizing, not scrutinizing.
Atheist. That is the word you were looking for.
Atheist, sure.
They
Okay.
don't believe in
You do not
any
believe.
God.
We're gonna
Ian is Lutheran.
Yeah.
I'm evangelist.
Lutheran.
I thought you evangelical.
And
okay.
Nick is homophobic.
Not homophobic. Where does this come from?
He's evangelist. The evangelicals are the homophobes
Oh.
and the racists. Yeah,
What?
the evangelicals are the people who are like they in the South. They've created problems in America at some points. Let's just say that.
I like when these
KKK.
That was
believe-
not subtle
I
at all.
believe-
I know. I was trying to make it
If
sound.
that's,
Alright,
if
the
that's
church
not
I grew up
evangelical, I
in-
have no idea.
The E. It's a faith E, right? I've
this
never
a chain?
grown up around anything that's.
Evangelical's fine. It's
I-
evangelist is
I
what I was talking about.
Think
Or no, I was
I
talking about
didn't
the other one.
realize there were two different things.
I
I
was
thought
talking about the one-
evangelist was just another word for like
Evangelical.
evangelical.
Well, I mean, specifically in the South, there has been problems with political parties like Jim
See,
Crow.
that's the problem when you
Spoilers.
like. Right, Christianity should be based off of the Bible because that is the one primary source we've got. And
You could call it that.
okay, well, if a Christian would call it a primary source,
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
right? That's what we should base the faith on. But then you get things like Catholics. They stray
just-
so far with like popes. There's nothing about that in the Bible.
Okay.
Well,
For some reason, like you say, you hate Catholics, but I don't understand. They were there before the Protestants, and yes, okay,
Yeah.
they are Reformationists, right? But I think there can't be a like, for example, Buddhism is based on stories about a guy,
Buddhism.
a
Say
guy
it after
who's
me.
a guy's
Buddhism.
Buddhism.
Buddha. All right.
Anyway, continue,
He's
Danny.
not from America. A faith is just that faith. You can't hate a faith for not being 100% based on the Bible. You can't hate, Indonesian Islam.
That's true. That's more like an orthodoxy idea, is it not?
Because
Everything has to be exact
Nick,
based on the
if
one.
anything, you would hate the Orthodox so
Is
much.
it idealism or is it religion then?
It's
It's religion.
100% based on your bias towards the Bible itself.
It is so the Orthodoxy and Catholicism are both based on the Bible, but they are very different because they interpret the Bible completely differently. And they decided, hey, we need a religious leader for this.
Yeah.
For example, it'd be the Byzantine king or the Pope, right? And then, for example, a person in Saudi Arabia would not agree with a person in Indonesia at all, but they would both be followers of the
Islamic?
Quran.
Yeah.
Do you
Well-
mind if I intervene?
Wait,
No.
one second.
Horse Randall.
So the problem with one thing about Catholics is they get into things like purgatory.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the Bible that
Purgatory.
should support that.
Yeah,
My freshman English teacher always talks about how you're in purgatory.
The thing is,
That's
though,
so
He's
funny.
like, welcome to
a Catholic
purgatory.
person would say that there's no reason to not have a pope. I mean, what does that?
Yeah,
do?
no, that's fair. A pope is fine.
The thing
I
is,
can,
a pope
I
was,
can get down.
The pope was
with
pretty
that.
bad in the medieval ages. With
But
the
that's
pope.
what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
that's
true.
That's why
But the thing is
Protestantism.
that is not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to intervene, because the reason why is because, like, with medieval times, the reason why they do that is to gain power and to own land, to get up
That's
in
why
that
the-
rank
the-
system.
That's why the church
It's corruption.
was definitely much more. It was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
corruption. And one thing we're doing here is generalizing. There's obviously people that are like, yeah, I'm Catholic, but they might believe two different things in just a little bit, but
Yeah, like my
most
dad.
of what they believe is Catholic.
My dad goes to Lutheran, but he still does his Catholic stuff because he's like
Yeah. My dad's a Catholic.
crosses his heart. Does that weird thing: the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
We can see you, yes.
Yes, but they can't.
Well, because
see
your
you.
dad's a Mexican man.
Well, that's true.
My dad is Italian Polish man.
That's also true.
Or
Your dad is Trotsky.
He is Trotsky.
that's an Orthodox man. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
But yeah, religion is an interesting topic with how it.
If you are
works.
listening to this podcast, you're not an intellectual. Get out of here, boy.
Wait,
Girl.
if they're
What?
what?
Wait a second.
You're not intellectual. You gotta be an intellectual.
the podcast. Please listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
We're desperate.
Honestly, I don't care.
Or you should listen to the Basement podcast.
You should listen to the Basement podcast and
talking-
immediately come back and listen to this one right
And
afterwards.
we
It's
talk
just
about
like
horse
put it
shits.
on during like
Coming
classroom,
out
you know,
bi-weekly.
or like during your classroom time. You know, they're like
Coming out
teach-
weekly. Maybe.
Bi-weekly.
Probably
This is coming out
bi-weekly.
bi-weekly.
Do you want to talk about that? You already talked about that, didn't you?
I
We've-
think we're
we've
cutting
made-
that out, aren't we?
It was in the
No.
cutout area.
No,
Yeah.
we don't have to cut that out. I was like flicking when we were talking about the computer
You're
I think-
flicking right
and my
now.
glasses.
Okay.
And
Well,
then I flicked
real
it back.
quick,
You
let's
forget
just
how
say it
sensitive
again,
this
just
is.
in case we edit it.
I didn't flick it when I was doing
Okay,
it.
here.
We'll edit
twice.
the other bit out then. Nick, go
All
ahead
right.
and say it.
We've got multiple people that are gonna be doing this podcast. It's more than just the four. It's an army, right?
What the hell?
I'm
We have
sorry,
a
I don't know where
military
this came
force.
from.
Watch out.
Is this gonna be like a you know, like they have like gaming households full of gamers? Are we gonna have a household?
Wait, like
Hey,
phase?
terrible.
Are we have like phase? Is
Oh,
this
God.
gonna be?
Oh.
Is
This
this
is
gonna be?
the phase house.
Is this the is this the phase house for podcasts?
No, I just think we've got multiple guys that would love to do the podcast with us,
I think we should
but
all live in
we
this
should not
apartment.
have more than 4 people doing a podcast at once.
Yeah,
That's
even now
extreme.
it's kind of chaotic.
It is kind of chaotic, but
We should start a podcast Minecraft server where we podcast and play Minecraft, and then
no, that's just be a live stream or something. I don't know.
I don't.
Ian,
think-
what's your
I don't
live
think-
stream?
I
don't
don't know.
wanna
I
do
just
that.
been like on that
I don't
topic.
want to do that.
I don't
Podcast is plenty for me.
I don't
even touch
wanna
any of
live-
that.
No, but
stream,
like
that
just
sounds-
one person goes on Twitch and does Minecraft while they.
How are
just
you
have
gonna
friends.
get people to watch our live stream? I don't understand how that's gonna.
I don't know.
I think we need to build an audience first.
That's
When
true,
does-
but we also have two
But
different.
like, good luck with that.
But we could
guess
just
they
share it
don't
with
care about
friends,
building an
and
audience.
also, like we have 2 schools at Senior and West. That's easy peasy.
Dare I
Oh,
say it?
I
Ian, you're a bridge to West.
I think the reason that my podcast was doing so well is because
James.
James.
Because James. We don't have a James.
We
That's
have
what I was going to
we
say.
have 300
That's why-
listens in the first 2 days.
3?
Well, it came out Monday and today's Wednesday.
I see.
That's horrible.
Well, actually, of this morning it was almost 300. So yes, 2 days. I
That's
guess.
fair, yeah.
That's kooky.
This will probably not reach that because we have no James. Actually, James might be on this at
Yeah.
some point, won't he?
That's.
yeah.
I'm gonna continue about the bi-weekly thing because we didn't finish that.
I think
Basically, we have like one day of the week we'll do like 2 people podcasts that are shorter, and one day of the week we do 4 people podcasts that are a bit longer.
this really retains the specific audience, but I think it's very good.
I think it can retain to
Yeah,
like a
'cause, like,
majority.
People are like, oh, I'm just gonna listen to the smaller one because that's all right.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I
Some
just want that long one.
some kids do not understand the meaning of a podcast. You're supposed to listen to it for a long time. You do something else maybe, or just
Yeah, that's why, like I
kinda-
said, just listen to it maybe
The thing-
in like class.
these
Yeah.
kids that are actually addicted to their phones and they're watching like TikTok all the time. They cannot pay attention to a form of entertainment for more than 30 seconds at a time. And then after 2 minutes, they just turn it off because they're like, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to watch other forms of media,
There goes that demographic.
There goes, fuck you. If you're one of those people who think, for example, if they can't listen to my podcast, the people of that demographic can't listen to mine. They can listen to any podcast.
Why does it always come back?
But still listen to this podcast.
Why does it come back?
Well, I'm comparing. I was in the middle of comparing our podcasts.
to TikTok?
Hey, this is Nick the editor. There's a shortcut here.
I'm not gonna do
El
Spanish.
Spanish.
Did you just say
If anything, I'm gonna
That's
do.
gross.
I don't even
That is gross. That is gross.
El Podcasto.
Can you
Yeah,
shut up
that's
now,
right.
Danny?
We'll have the name of our podcast, and we'll just put El, like El Smosh.
Can I speak?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a weird idea in math. Podcast, but cast with an E, and we talk about social hierarchies.
Podcast.
Okay.
No.
Podcast.
Can we?
I don't know.
Can we move to a new topic?
Okay.
Because now we're just going on a tangent on how this podcast should be
I
shaping
think
up.
that's
We
a
could probably
very
edit
cool
that out.
structure, though.
Yeah, that is a very
I don't
nice
think we should
structure.
edit it out. I think this is perfect.
I think
Yeah.
it's good to let people know, because then people will be like, "Hey, can I be on the podcast?"
The thing,
Yeah,
the
it's
thing,
like,
okay, the
you
thing
want to be on the podcast? Sure. You want to like maybe change the way this works because the audience is like the actual people who are listening. Sure.
the thing is, I think the 2-person podcasts, like the ones that James and I did, are shorter, more defined. The 4 persons, if you have 4 people on a podcast, it's gonna go ape shit.
Yeah.
That is what's happening.
That is-
Yeah,
and
that's what's happening.
And that's fine. You can't control it. There's nothing.
I think we should probably put like a time mark to say if they want us to just skip this.
How long has
Yeah.
it been, by the way?
It's
Probably
been very
very
long.
question.
We've been talking for a while.
50. Do we want to wrap it up with like one more topic?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Well, I'm sleepy. I had to pee. I'm not
You
sleeping
can
up.
pee on the podcast.
Yeah,
Can I bring the
Can you pee on the microphone?
Can I bring the microphone into the bathroom with me?
No.
No.
No. I think that might be illegal.
Danny, you want me to bring the microphone and you got the laptop?
I don't know if this is. You know what? Let's do this.
Yeah, no, let's just
No, let's not do
No,
that. I've
We're
heard you-
almost done. We're almost done.
I-
You are not exiting this table.
I'm gonna pee.
Oh,
You
no.
guys,
You
you
do
guys
not
are gonna
get to
talk.
pee.
I'm gonna introduce myself later. I'm gonna pee.
Alright, fine.
What do you mean introduce
All
yourself?
right.
We're like an hour in.
No. You can. I mean, you can just keep on going for us.
Oh, this has changed the setup so much because now Dick is on the left and Ian's on the right.
Will this change the audio? Perhaps. Like and subscribe.
Like-
Hear me?
Please like and subscribe. We're gonna probably burn ourselves alive. I'm gonna do that.
would
Okay,
you
one
say
last
that?
topic.
One last topic. We got dreams done. We got
Religion.
religion.
Music.
We started in.
We kind of talk about music.
We sort of talked about music, but then it was like a quick topic because
What about like ambition?
ambition?
No, why does it all have to
I
be
don't
to
mean like
class?
English.
No.
I don't at all mean.
No,
Like, what do you want
I
to
say
be?
no. I have a good one. I actually had this one in mind.
Danny's
Gaming.
shooting from the bathroom.
And why do?
Wait, what? What is Danny
Wait,
doing?
Can we get quiet and just
Wait.
listen to Danny? This is weird.
Did I hear Karate Man?
I heard karate.
Yeah, Karate Man. Can we like start calling him Karate Man now?
Yeah.
Wait, when he comes back, we're gonna call him Karate Man. All right, that's a deal.
We can talk before he gets here. you
Yeah,
know?
that's a good point.
What should happen? Like, or a good topic would be like gaming, and why do people think it has such like a bad like input on
I
like?
think it's because it's new.
I don't think it has an input, not bad input anymore. Because it's been
Oh, I think it
the
totally
old
does.
people
Oh,
are
yeah.
dead. Okay.
if you're embarrassed to say something in
I've
front
never
of
been embarrassed to say I played video games.
well, I mean, like,
That's kind of dumb.
if there's even
Everyone
a
plays
small
video games.
Karate
Yeah,
Man.
that's the thing.
everyone does
It's
it,
not-
but not everyone feels comfortable.
like
You know what I
most
mean?
people do.
No, I don't think we should talk about
Okay,
We're not talking about
that's
video
fair.
We were talking about like how like, cause like media looks at it at such a down, like
Do we
horrible
have to
way.
talk about media? I feel like that's not.
Media is like
I
a
want to talk
horrible.
about religion.
Yeah, we could talk about media next time.
Why can't we talk
Okay.
about something less
So,
sensitive, like
Let's say, oh, what's something interesting about you, Nick? Oh, I like to. Let's list everything that's not video games, unless it comes to it. You know, that's what I'd rather do because it.
that is true.
You know what I
can
mean?
see that. Yeah.
It's like, oh, what do you like to do? I'd rather say, oh, I like to play saxophone. I like to rock climb. I like to play tennis. And you would say something like, oh, I'm a gamer at piano, except you wouldn't actually.
Piano is always the go-to.
Yeah, piano is the go-to. Ian, what is your go-to?
My go-to to what? Life
If someone
itself.
says, "Tell me something about yourself,"
What
what
do you
say
do?
about
What is your main
yourself?
thing that you do?
You just like have a seizure with vocab. Danny?
That's basically.
I
it.
actually no idea. I'm in a limbo state of what.
Yeah.
You Danny.
I would say the
Purgatory.
same thing.
Am I? What instrument do I play? Do I play bass now? Or do I play drums
You
still?
play
you play
drums and you
drums
play
and
bass.
bass.
But I don't know which one I'm better at and which one I'm.
Danny, you're
supposed to
better
do
at
it
drums.
on.
I've never
Drums.
heard you play bass.
I've heard you play bass. You're fun.
I don't know what.
Yeah, but there's I don't know.
You might be our best bassist.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not Edward.
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 Edward doesn't get a say.
Edward's our
Edward's a
bass.
freshman. He can't talk.
That's true.
Oof.
That's true.
Okay, that's rough because like when I was in symphonic band, I was a freshman
And you did well.
and I did well.
Too bad. You get a bad rep until next year. That's how it
Edward
is.
is literally getting money from the Billings Symphony
That is true. He's getting
The
paid.
Billings Symphony, Dylan.
The Billings.
Does he play piano for
for
that?
bass.
No,
No, he
bass.
plays
Of
bass.
course, he doesn't play
Oh.
piano for that.
He plays bass for the Billings Symphony.
Don't worry, Dylan. No one's gonna take your place.
Great.
No one's gonna take your throne.
Hey Edward, if you're listening, you want to play piano in like a 5-man band? That'd be
With
weird.
2 pianos in it.
Wait, with the jazz ensemble?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm the piano for the jazz
That-
Wait,
ensemble.
that's the
you know
point.
what we should do?
No.
We should talk.
I get the bit now. But
Ian,
that's not the
you're
point.
gonna
Okay.
play guitar. Nick, you're gonna sing. James, Dylan, you're gonna play the bass.
He's coming,
I'm gonna
James.
play
James
the
could
bass.
sing.
No,
I can sing.
James can sing.
I don't even want James.
You
to
sing
play.
bass.
All right, that's fair.
I can try to
Get
sing.
outta here,
I can't
James.
play
I'd love
guitar.
to sing, but like I love. That's the problem. I wish I could play saxophone and sing at the same time.
I wish it was just the same.
You
as
can
well.
be- you can be-
guitar and pianist, they can sing all they want while they're
It's
playing,
really
and it's
nice.
so like. ugh.
You should do like what's his Neil Armstrong.
Chet
Louis
Baker
Armstrong.
kind of
You
does
could-
something.
You could play some saxophone and you start singing it.
Well,
Yeah, that's why I said like Chet Baker.
Okay, yes, thank you,
Chet-
Chet Baker. I don't know if it's
Amazing.
Chet or Chet.
I think it's Chet.
Okay.
Chet. Chet Baker is
I
amazing.
love Chet Baker.
I love him. He's like one of my favorite depressing
I was
artists.
actually listening to yesterday in the car. And I had the garage doors closed and the car on, but I didn't want to turn the car off because
You're Hitler.
what was it? Anyways, a good song came on, and all I could think about was like, man, I'm gonna get some recording software for Christmas, and I'm gonna be able to, record myself for playing saxophone for the song.
I told you this morning. You can use the loop pedal.
I
And we'll
could-
cut all that out.
Well, yeah, but I'd rather just like be able to listen to my. Never mind. Anyways, I can just I'd love to sing along with my saxophone.
with your hair like that.
Okay.
That's not good.
Do you have
That's
any
weird.
vocal training, Nick?
No.
I went in honor choir.
You
That
know,
was
are you a
long
good
time
singer?
ago.
I don't know.
I've heard him sing bass. He's pretty good.
I heard
It's
him
like-
sing in my shower. Actually, I
Oh,
wasn't in my
that's true.
house.
Every time he's in the shower.
We should sing like a Russian song, very low.
Yeah, that could work.
What's that one song you really like that I can never really name off?
Plus, we could just do like you said, Chet Baker stuff. Chet Baker
That
stuff.
one.
Like
Yeah.
he sings, but he doesn't like. It's not crazy.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Yeah, I always sing along to Chet Baker, and I can always hit every note.
Bob
Yeah,
Dylan,
'cause it's
anyone?
easy.
Huh?
Bob Dylan, that man can't sing.
No one
That's
cares
true,
about
but
Look
Bob
he's
at
Dylan.
him.
famous.
He's got a Nobel
You're the only
Prize.
major Bob Dylan.
I think
I
we're
can't
going
sing
on a
either,
tangent
so.
again.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to end the podcast.
we were supposed
Should
to
we
end
end
the
it like I ended my podcast?
No,
How'd you end
that
your
was-
podcast? I forgot.
that was-
I made a guttural.
No, we're not
noise.
doing that.
No, it was so.
You can go back to the bathroom if you think of doing that, Danny.
Karate Man.
It was from my mouth, not
Oh, yeah,
from my
I
butt.
forgot about
That's
Yeah.
good.
Remember, he's Karate Man.
Oh, Karate Man, sorry.
that.
I said,
Karate
"Fuck
Man?
you, Karate Man." Did that pick? Did that pick? Up?
We're
It
hoping.
probably did.
Hoping.
I really hope it picked up the singing and the screaming and the "fuck you, Karate Man."
Yeah, we gave you a small moment of silence, but then you started stop screaming, and it
Just silence.
I stopped, and then I heard you guys talk, and I started singing again. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's basically what
Well,
happens.
I really like that.
Thanks for listening. And,
Thank you.
Yeah, let's hope we get some
Let's recap.
audience.
Hold on.
Whatever.
yeah, give us input, give us topics.